So today we have a very good sutta to discuss. Let's start with paying our respect to the Buddha. Let's bring our palms together by the reflecting of the qualities of the Buddha. Say with me if you know the verses. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. My homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's pay our respect to our teacher, Pinat Lokoswamin Hanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. There is a beautiful, that when it comes to Buddhist teachings, it has a kind of a, like every sutta match with the other sutta's idea, like every discourse match with the other discourse idea. So therefore, sometimes that's why I'm asking you to, it's better if you can remember this word in Pali. So today we are going to learn about a Sappurisa. Sappurisa means there are several translations, but I don't know, but I don't feel comfortable with that the meaning which gives. It says that Sappurisa means true person and or the noble person, a good person. So the Sappurisa in Purisa means a person. Sappurisa means a like a righteous person, of course, when it comes to the literal meaning. But in Buddhist teachings, there is a huge difference between a Sappurisa and Asappurisa. It's something like this. If you ever happen to convert yourself to a Sappurisa, you are not again going back. So that means real Sappurisa is one who started that noble eightfold path. So yes, of course we have to start it by by practicing these qualities. But you know that this is like improving or upgrading or converting ourselves to our better version. So it's like the Dhamma, the teachings of these teachings, purifying our mind by itself. So the first stage of that, if a Sattpurisa is like the one who is practicing the path to attain that stream entrant level, and then they attain that stream entrant, and then they goes to the level called Sakadagami. That means returning one time only to the sensual world, then a non-returner level, then also the end or the Arahant. So uh, we can understand that there are some special qualities Sappurisa has. So from here on, I will use the word Sappurisa. When I say Sappurisa, he is the one who's started to practice this Noble Eightfold Path. So it's like uh, whenever you practice this and you can think about yourself, yes, I'm also practicing this path to become a Sappurisa. So if you are a Sappurisa, then you won't go back from this path. Why I'm saying like that? There are some qualities Sappurisa has that the whole uh, ground of a Sappurisa, Buddha saying, it's the noble eightfold path. If noble eightfold path open in one's mind, he is not returning back to the that regular level. So, and there is another special thing about Sappurisa. Sappurisa has a special quality which called Katanyu Katavedi. That means he has a quality that he has gratitude. Gratitude is a part of his life. Gratitude never ever fade away from his life. Katavedi, and he often reflect what I have received from the others. So not only the teachings, not only the gratitude towards the Buddha or noble friends, but also in daily life he has the gratitude. I will describe how it happens, so then you will also will be clear about how it happens. And Sappurisa, there is another group of suttas in Okkanti Sanyukta. That means in there the Buddha describes if anyone start the first stage of like the out of that eight, that means the Saddhanusari, that may be starting that practicing that great confidence towards Buddha, and then he won't die without entering the stream entrance level for the first stage of the enlightenment. So therefore the word we can say literally Sappurisa to anyone, but when it comes to meaning, it has a huge depth. So and he has that qualities, he can see it in himself, that noble qualities. Today we are learning some special four qualities we can see in a Sappurisa, and some special qualities we call the bad qualities we can see in the regular people. Okay. There are the other participants also. So then I'll again brief. I'm really sorry if you feel bored. Bhante is repeating again, but it's essential if someone just logged in. So today we are learning about the noble practitioner who started this practice, and in here the name for that person is Sappurisa. That Sappurisa has a very special quality that which is, if someone's claimed to be a real Sappurisa, then he is not again returning to the that regular that the unwholesome path. So and the Sappurisa, the whole ground of that Sappurisa, that may, where Sappurisa live in noble eightfold path. And there is another special quality, they have quality of gratitude, and that they are often reflecting what they have received from the others. That means it's not a it can't avoid from their lives. So how it happens and what is the difference between the usual the people, the regular society, and this person? How it happens? You know, in there we have to go through the understanding of selflessness. So you know that in this world, people often believe that actually the wrong vision is always with the idea of self, idea of me or mine or myself, and, and expecting things to happen in according to our wish and will. But the noble person has and have kind of understanding about the Sapuris has kind of understanding about the characteristic of this reality. What are those? Subject to change. Everything subject to change. Because of that, unpleasant experience. So the suffering arises when we attach to these things subject to change. And there is no authority over things in this world, because nothing will be according to your wish or will. Everything subject to change, even the things we believe as me or mine or myself. So when he has that understanding, that self identity reduces. Because of the self identity, we have a kind of a thought process like this: I have thoughts and I want to fulfill my wishes. But when it turns to the real and the right vision, he understands that I don't have thoughts. Instead of that, thoughts have I, the idea of identity. That also a very temporary one. It's not a permanent one. That uh, each thought pattern has different I. Therefore, we represent different emotions. So to moment. That's why we love to same person, and after sometimes we hate the same person because our thought patterns change and our identity and personality change and our expectations changes. So likewise, when we understand this, that everything subject to change, and that this world is like it has a natural flow of impermanence, nothing to keep as me or mine or myself. So it's like entangling with the reality, connecting with the reality instead of fighting against the nature, being part of the nature or just being the nature. So when we connect, when our vision is like going hand in hand with the nature, we see things as it is, and there is no upset about that. Yes, of course, we feel unpleasant experience because, as an example, even we have the right vision, if someone give you a punch on your face, that doesn't mean that you don't feel pain, because this body generate pain. So at that time you feel pain, but you know that because this body can create that pain, I experience that. Other than that, there is no way of finding a culprit from the other side. Why? There is no a culprit, someone in reality. There is no real me or mine or myself inside. When we remove that, eventually the other side also remove it. Then understand that it's all about cause and effect. So then you'll understand the other side also. Thoughts created that idea, and intention created that action, and that happened, and that's all over. And because of this experience, created pain that's also rised and falling will be, after some time it will be get neutral. If you can remember that story, even last Sunday also I remember mentioned in the in-person meditation, that Arhan Sariputta story, that while our Arhan Sariputta going for his arms round, one wanted to check whether this person still really, he's claiming that he doesn't have anger. Is that true? So he went behind and punched him back, and Arhan Sariputta fallen down. He again stand and walk without even looking back. Then he felt sorry, and he then offered the arms even, and so that's how it works. It happened. So to the Arahant Sariputta, he one day actually he says like, I am like fire, I am like water, I am like earth, I am like air. Yeah, so what's the meaning of that? Then he Arahant saying, uh, people people put bad things to the earth as well as good things, but earth never refuse or appreciate what it receives. And I'm like that. People put good things and bad things to the water. Water never protest, but the people who love the environment will protest, but not the water. So likewise, so I have such a mind. Unlike the air, people put good things and bad things to the air, but air never upset about that. And people put bad things to the four elements like earth, water, air, and fire. But good or bad, it doesn't care. So likewise, I have a mind like that. That means so neutral and fully connected with the nature. It's like the nature represent from the Arahant. So likewise, so that if someone reduce that framing themselves as identity, self-identity, so then they see things as it is instead of worrying. instead of trying to change things to something else. Why? At the end of the day, this is what we have to understand, because that's how the world in real reality we understand. So this is a we have to understand that this is the ultimate reality, and we shouldn't apply this to like into the other levels. So the like so if someone living like that, so there is no progress in a country. Think that whole country doing that? Actually, whole country can't do that. Why? People who wise only understand this. If not, their ego always take them to that expectations. So this is a kind of the ultimate reality. So the ultimate reality is not for everyone, only for the wise people. So just try to understand that also, instead of like letting you to question how, why. So if you have questions, don't worry, you don't want to find answers by your own. Wait, and at the end, say, just ask Bante, I have a question. You, no matter any questions are welcome. So we will find answers for that. So think that someone is like that nature. He is like nature. He does not frame himself from a particular thought pattern as me or mine or myself. Then he doesn't see like this part is bad, this and this way is good, and he see things as it is. So to a person like that, if someone give a glass of water, he's a person ready to appreciate that, and he does not have any competitor in the world, and there is a huge gratitude creating within him when for towards the person who taught this reality and gave him that understand. Why? That which is the day he started to feel freedom from what? Being a servant or being a security to this his own ego. Why? We, even though we do different jobs, we are kind of a servant to our own, to our ego. If you can remember the example I have given one day, um, even to a child, if you show a kind of a small like a plate or something not that much useful, and show, okay, think that you are showing a mouse to a child and showing that you are playing with this, and you are making kind of a value in that child mind, and showing that, but you are never giving this to that child, like, but you are showing like playing with this, wow, this is so nice, amazing. Then after some time child want this. Why? His ego convert him to a servant to grab this and to try to play from this. So his own ego asked him to do this. So then, if I won't give this to that child, the child will cry. So that's it. That is the power child has. But the same different people has different powers. The child's power is the cry. We all know that when they cry, we feel kind of empathy and we want to give. So, but adults has different powers. We will learn it in another sutta. And monk's power is the tolerance. We should have the tolerance. So, so then think that when that child is about to cry, if I give this, he feels like, oh, I won the world. Because I did not have this, I didn't feel happy. Now I feel happiness. And then he try to play from this. What will happen after some time? He try that, he find that this is something, but it doesn't have the fulfillment. Then he keep this aside and doing something else. At that time, his ego creating him, converting him to a security person. Why? if his sibling or someone try to take this mouse from him, he won't give that. This is a kind of a his property. So to us even, the marketing firms and the society creates value in our mind. And then we try for that, we go for that, we work for that, and we earn money for that, and we buy that. It creates, it convert ourselves to a servant. Once we receive that, then what will happen? We become servants, not only to the material thing, but to the living beings even. We want to protect our family, we want to protect so and so things. So because of that, mother is a very popular marketing material those days, because when if someone want to sell something, we can praise mom, and of course we can praise the child. You know that, and we can say like, if your child want to have a big brain, then you should drink this milk, or you should provide this milk. Then what will happen? To we work for that, creating a value and asking to buy. So at the end of the day, even though different people have do different jobs, maybe having PhD or whatever, as a scientist, even the what we call the workers, the labors, everyone do this. So being a servant to our own ego, and being a servant to our security to our own ego. In Pali term, there is a called Uno Loco Atito Tanha Daso. This world never gets satisfied. We are servant to our own ego. Uh, so it's in the Rattapala. Rattapala is a very wealthy person. His father never allowed him to become a monk, but then he refused to eat. He said that I will die if you won't allow me to become a monk. And then by seeing that father had no option, and he allowed him to become a monk. And after he enlightened, he came back to the home and to teach the Dhamma. And at that time, so the king also meet the monk and asked, why you wanted to become a monk? Because you are one of the wealthiest person in this country, and your father can give sustainable amount of wealth. Even here disaster happened to the country, that much of wealth you have. So why did you want it? Then he said that, and the Buddha one time told four things. Out of four, the one is this: this world is not satisfying, and we all servant to our own ego. So he wanted to become a monk. So likewise, when we understand that, and we find the freedom, it just rise in the freedom. Why? Instead of going working for the ego neutralized, and we feel happiness within ourselves, and then we feel happy. We are practicing a path to be happy for no reason. So being happy by your yourself, and working if you have jobs or things to do, but you don't work for your happiness. You don't wait your next BMW or Mercedes Benz to buy to be happy. You are being happy and doing works, and you buy that. It's just a car. It's not just a happiness. It's not happiness to you, because you found your inner happiness. To a person like that, they have a huge gratitude towards the Buddha, even though he hasn't seen Buddha from his naked eye. He feels how Buddha's mind from his own mind. So that's why people in front of Buddha's statue paying respect and worshipping with kneel down and placing his forehead on the ground. So, of course, he knows that this statue does not have Buddha, and Buddha is no longer exist. But that statue helped that person to reflect the qualities of the Buddha within himself. So that's why, if he is a real stream entrant person, his his happiness won't kill by even someone breaking that statue. That also something we have to understand. So there was a nice incident. I mean, it's not a nice incident in 2001 or so. The 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 biggest Buddha statue demolished by Taliban terrorists because they don't like the idols to be exist there, but it was the huge one and they blast it. And those days, from a Australian monk, actually he's from United Kingdom, and he became a monk, and he practicing his state monk life in Australia. And one journalist asked him from him about because that journalists just want to some popular topic to talk and asking, so what if someone take these scripts of the his sacred script a book and put it into a uh, what the commode, the cotton fan or commode, the toilet bowl, and flush it, what do you will do? So then that monk saying, probably I will call for a uh, who is the person who do that the plumbing. I will call for a plumber because no one a book can't go through the pipeline. So instead of then the journalist did not expect that sort of answer. And he said that's the truth, because we don't want to be angry about anything out in the outer world. If we real practice Buddha's teachings, why one day Buddha saying, if you really practice this path, it's like this. Someone put you down and cut you into two pieces. At that time, even if you get angry, then you won't practice my path. So that means if we really practice this path, that means it's not someone doing by with kind of a huge effort. It's the way of his that person's purified mind. So even that time, even with huge pain, that the pain a person does not feel the anger. So that sort of great practice this is, if anyone would like to practice. So the I wanted to grab from different stories the idea to give you that how a Sappurisa is. So he has a huge gratitude towards the Buddha, and not only towards the Buddha and these teachings. We learned about that six special qualities of these teachings, and he has a huge gratitude towards the noble monks. It's not like we can see someone else's mind by just seeing a monk, because he's just a monk, he's just representing the monk. But through his freedom in which creates in his mind, he can understand how an arahant is. So therefore he has a respect and gratitude towards the monks. It's not like respect like division. I have great respect towards this monk because this monk is very popular. No, not like that. It's like same respect and same uh, uh, kind of respect to the every monk. Why? He doesn't see even that the purity of a monk even from the outer world. That also he understand within himself. That sort of thing is this, because Buddha is saying that You don't have ability to see someone's wholesome mind or the unwholesome mind by yourself. Even a person who has the ability to read mind, that person also incapable. Buddha saying, if someone really measures someone else, judge, then he should be a Buddha or someone like that. That means another Buddha actually. So it's not that easy, even reading a mind. Buddha saying that there are different ways of reading a mind. Reading one technique is listening to the other person's inner mind narration. We call it vitakka vichara, and that's a one way. There are the other ways also. Even that person also is not capable of understanding the other person fully. So those are the qualities of Sappurisas. So let's go through the sutta and identify what are these four special qualities. And you can see it within you, and you can try it whether am I developing these qualities or not. But again, please, I would add double please, don't judge from this teaching the others. Why? These teachings to clear ourselves, not to judge others. Okay. Before that, if you have any question, feel free to ask.
Bante, when we say Satpurisa, that means that person has to be at least a Sadhanusari. Bante, am I correct?
Correct.
So that's all.
And yeah, so those teachings are tallying with other teachings even. So there are things called, if you can remember, Indriya Dhamma, Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya, even. Those things, if I can remember the sutta name, it's Mahanama Sutta. If someone does not have that qualities, he is not in the noble path even. So that means if someone is in the noble path, that person has that qualities. If someone has that qualities, those are developing. Those are not like like being for sometimes and going away from their life. It's like because it's a way of upgrading. Okay.
Thank you, Bante.
Yeah. Okay. So the sutta is okay. Who can read this nicely? Anyone? I can share it for you.
Okay, a person of integrity. Monks, a person endowed with these four qualities can be known as a person of no integrity. Which four? There is the case where a person of no integrity, when unasked, reveals another person's bad points, to say nothing of when asked. Furthermore, when pressed with questions, he is one who speaks of another person's bad points in full and in detail, without omission, without holding back. Of this person you may know, this venerable one is a person of no integrity. Then again, a person of no integrity, when asked, does not reveal another person's good points, to say nothing of when unasked. Furthermore, when pressed with questions, he is one who speaks of another person's good points, not in full, not in detail, with omissions, holding back. Of this person you may know, this venerable one is a person of no integrity. Then again, a person of no integrity, when asked, does not reveal his own bad points, to say nothing of when unasked. Furthermore, when pressed with questions, he is one who speaks of his own bad points not in full, not in detail, with omissions, holding back. Of this person you may know, this venerable one is a person of no integrity. Then again, a person of no integrity, when unasked, reveals his own good points, to say nothing of when asked. Furthermore, when pressed with questions, He is one who speaks of his own good points in full and in detail, without omissions, without holding back. Of this person you may know, this venerable one is a person of no integrity. Monks, a person endowed with these four qualities can be known as a person of no integrity. Now, a person endowed with these four qualities can be known as a person of integrity. Which four? There is a case where a person of integrity, when asked, does not reveal another person's bad points, to say nothing of when unasked. Furthermore, when asked, when pressed with questions, he is one who speaks of another person's bad points, not in full, not in detail, with omissions, holding back. Of this person you may know, this venerable one is a person of integrity. Then again, a person of integrity, when unasked, reveals another person's good points, to say nothing of when asked. Furthermore, when asked, when pressed with questions, he is one who speaks of another person's good points in full and in detail, without omissions, without holding back. Of this person you may know, this venerable one is a person of integrity. Then again, a person of integrity, when unasked, reveals his own bad points, to say nothing of when asked. Furthermore, when asked, when pressed with questions, he is one who speaks of his own bad points in full and in detail, without omissions, without holding back. Of this person you may know, this venerable one is a person of integrity. Then again, a person of integrity, when asked, does not reveal his own good points, to say nothing of when unasked. Furthermore, when asked, when pressed with questions, he is one who speaks of his own good points, not in full, not in detail, with omissions, holding back. Of this person you may know, this venerable one is a person of integrity. Monks, a person endowed with these four qualities can be known as a person of integrity.
Your reading's really nice, and so yeah. And so you may see that there are some qualities. So in these qualities, so that mean he's a person. And so we will talk about this Sappurisa. The Sappurisa is a person. He does not want to find others' faults. He doesn't want to go with like revealing the other persons, but he want to reveal himself, and he want to practice honesty as best to the great extent, and he want to be open about that self, and in the same time he doesn't want to show off. So why all this happens? Because there is no personality to protect or defend or compete. So all this happens when there is no kind of a personality to again compete this world. That's why these qualities are showing in someone's life. So you may have seen in the world, then when we praise the people, that creates kind of a energy them to fight back against the society. So nowadays, especially the new studies are showing that we shouldn't praise anyone. If we praise any culture, if we praise, suppress like any sort of students, even so, then what will happen? Then they try to fight back. So in Sri Lanka, we have a nice thing about that. I mean, I don't say again. It's not a nice thing. I mean, an example. So in Sri Lanka, we have kind of uh, in universities. If someone goes to university, of course, no one will do in here. There is its own university culture. It start with giving it's called the ragging season. That means giving slight punishment to the newcomers. They want to convert them to their own wish and will. So they are the like the cream of the like they are the well-educated people from coming from high school and so, but after that, it's like it's still ongoing, continuing. Why? When we suppress the society, even they try to give it to the next generation. So when it comes to that ragging thing, the roots are coming from army. I think in the Second World War season, to like get a kind of a control of a team, they create kind of those things. But to people who are well educated, we don't need that. We can find different options for that. We can be more creative, and but still it's going. So in the same way, if you have seen parents punishing their children a lot, then they also used to do that when they become parents if they haven't educated themselves well. So likewise, so it's like if we suppress others, then others will suppress back. So that's a different thing. I just want to show here that why do we suppress others? Because we want to. It's all about having our own personality and we want to protect it. So in the same time, if you can just go through what we are experiencing, we don't feel angry to the people who has done most bad thing to us. I mean, we may feel kind of upset and anger, but most of the time we have anger more often people who live with us. I mean, just check and find out that how many times you have been angry with your family members. So it's not because they have done something really bad like the others have done to the world. It's all about being in a society when we feel suppressed and when our personality uh, mm, questioned. So on those times we start to find faults of the other side. So if you see someone else bad qualities more often, if that person does not want to uh, correct themselves, then that person see you as a enemy, even though you say it's with compassion. Then there is a defilement created in our mind. It called marker. Marker means I think that. So it's an example. Sean and Mike talking about Sean saying kind of a good quality. Uh, example, right? To the mic, the Diago has. So I think that for some reason, Mike and Diago is Mike doesn't feel very good at Diago. Of course, there is nothing like that. I just saying, right? So when Mike saying, when Sean saying about the good side of Diago, then Mike does not want to accept that. But in the same time, he doesn't want to show that I'm not that sort of a good person to appreciate his qualities. Just example. So then Mike will what Mike will feel when someone saying someone else qualities to the in this story. Mike will feel kind of a pain in their chest, like someone's pinching their chest, heart. Someone saying someone else quality. So nothing will happen, but our heart feel hurt. Then we will do like then the words like this come, right? Oh, seems like he's a good guy. But you know what? One day he said something like this about you. I shouldn't say this. But oh, just let it go. Don't think about that. So likewise, we want to turn the other person's ideas also the way we see. That's how the why all those happens when we have a kind of a mm, personality to protect. When we feel it hurt, we want to find others' faults. But if there is no personality to protect as myself, then we see qualities of the other people because those qualities doesn't seems like competing with us. So that's why Sappuris always praise when they see a quality of the other side. So, and then if someone asks about that, he will say in detail. And because he does not feel hurt, anger does not bother that person. Because of that, he doesn't want to find others' fault out of anger. You know what? This world finding others' fault not because they are so compassionate, they are so angry and they feel hurt. But if you don't have that part, if you see someone's fault, it always because of the compassion. How do we find that it comes because of compassion? You don't feel hurt about those things. You are just saying with right mindfulness. It's not about feeling hurt. And so you don't want to just revealing others bad things. But when it comes to yourself, of course you want to free from you, and you want to have that honesty with you. Why? Your happiness is there because you are so honest. Your happiness is there because you are so open. Your happiness is there because you are not protecting anything as me or mine or myself. So because of that, you don't want to hide anything. You just want to be as you. So then there is nothing to find hide from the world. So see that the happiness a person who, if there is a person likewise, how much happiness he can gain. But again, if you would like to practice this, please be mindful to whom you should expose yourself. Why? If you want to expose yourself to a person who does not have that wholesome qualities, then they will use it as a um, tool to uh, defend you or to fight against you. So instead of that, this is a teaching to a Buddha teaching to the group of mindfulness people or to group of monks. So therefore, you have to be mindful about that also. So in here, what I want to bring you, not just giving you this idea of the sutta interpretation, how it happens. So let's now brief. So this is what we learned today. If a unwholesome person, or if it is as asappurisa, the opposite of the sappurisa, that person always see the finding faults of the others. And if someone asks, he will reveal it to the great extent. But if he don't want to show his own faults, and if someone asks, he does not want to reveal it, he just want to hide it. He doesn't know, he don't feel that freedom of uh, freeness which he has, because he doesn't have that sort of freedom in his life still, yet to come. He's in the path to practice. If a Sappurisa, he always see the good side of the others. And if someone asks, oh, there is the other also. So if someone asks, he will reveal it to the great extent. If someone see the if he see the bad side of someone else, he doesn't want to say it, to reveal it to the world. He's just seeing it, and if he has compassion, of course he may try to correct him, but it's not like being angry. And if someone asks about that thing, he will just like shifting. He doesn't want to go through to in detail. So saying about the good things, hiding about the bad things when it come to others, when it come to himself, showing off, or showing exposing all the bad side, even describing. But good side, he doesn't want to show off. Why he does not want to show off? Because those qualities are there, so nothing to show off. Because you know that if a person has a think that if someone has iPhone 60, since he does not feel happy or fulfillment. That's why then he want to show it, to show off and get kind of an impression from the others. He feels like when the others impressed, oh, I feel something. So that this doesn't mean that you don't buy your iPhone. Please buy it, and if you have, if you can buy two, so uh, I can use one for just joking. I don't want. So what I want to say is just find every work for your things. Buy it. This is not like asking you to stop that. Please use that, but it's not like we are trying to impress others. Why you don't want to impress from your things when it, because you feel fulfillment within yourself. That's what we need to have in our life. So only the wholesome qualities can fulfill you, but not the unwholesome things. Unwholesome things can create you or convert you only to two jobs. What are those? Turning you to a servant and turning you to a security. So we were servant and we worked for so many materialistic things. Those are now around us. Maybe someone now we don't have. And we became servant to the relationships. Of course, we have to admit that that's true. We were servant. Think that the if you can remember your teenage days, when you see a beautiful uh, girl or boy, you felt like, oh, he's the one, she's the one, uh, came to this world on behalf of me. But when you're getting matured, you know that it's just a feeling, it's just emotion. But those days, you may you may have think about that person like maybe months, years. Sometimes you may skip your meals even, you may spend money even, you may have written poems even. So many things you may have done. So that's normal. Why? That's how the servant works. We work to our own ego, and then once we receive that, we want to protect it. Even though we don't feel fulfillment, our mind is not ready to let it go. So that's the reality of our life. That's why I'm saying that the true love is not what we expect something from the others, and it's not like true love is not loving to a person because that person fulfill our perceptions. True love is accepting the other person the way they are, accepting a whole 360-degree, right? Good side and the bad side. So if not, we are just being selfish. And again, these teachings are like deeper levels of the understanding. So that's why you often don't listen to these things when it comes to just stress relieving meditation. Why? If I say this, then they will feel like I am a kind of enemy to their relationships. Why? They have so attached. They just want to reduce the stress, but they don't want to find out the roots where the stress comes. They just want to reduce their sufferings, but they don't want to find the real root, where what is the real cause and effect to these sufferings. But there are wise people. Buddha saying there are four special things happening in the world when Buddha enlightened and when he started to teach. Those are, there are people used to be with their self dignity to they are with the mana. So can anyone give me the right word to mana in English? Mana means that idea of inferiority or superiority. Yeah, the conceit. Thank you. And the uh, people being with conceit. But when Buddha preach in Dhamma, because he's saying the truth, people ready to let go that. It's a kind of a amazing thing happening in the world, Buddha saying. And people used to be attached to their own ego when Buddha teaching the teachings. People ready to let go their ego. It's Buddha saying it's a kind of amazing thing. It's a kind of a rare but amazing thing. Then Buddha saying people used to be happy by just having a wandering mind, like going to parties and trying to enjoy, like try to be happy by with the sensual pleasures and so much of wandering. But when Buddha teaching this Dhamma, people ready to calm themselves and experience the inner peace. It's a kind of amazing thing. And the fourth thing is people used to be happy by wrong and vision. That means just let go of the impermanence. Just try to uh, forget about the sufferings yet to come and arising. Try to be happy with the wrong vision, like having a drink, and just try to enjoy their life in like temporary things. But when Buddha's teaching this, people ready to open their mind and open their heart and see the rising and falling of everything subject to change. Because of that, nothing to attach, and there is nothing to take as me or mine or myself. Buddha saying these four things happening. So therefore Buddha saying, teach this Dhamma. This Dhamma wheel is a wheel. No one can turn it back. So therefore, turn this to the people. Let it turn to the world. Then there will be people who can understand this teaching. So we are so lucky because we got the chance to listen to this. I mean, we got kind of a patient to listen to this. These teachings are all over the internet, but the out of 8 billion, very few has patience to wait and listen to that. So then we are so lucky on that actually. So instead of just being satisfied by just listening, try to see this Dhamma, this teaching within yourself. That's what I want to share and say at last. Okay, let's bring our palms together. Today we learned a nice sutta from Buddha's teachings, and we discussed about the teachings of the Buddha. So we accumulated many merits, good karma to our lives. So let's share all the good karma first with all the divinely powers, even your private gods, if there are any spiritual powers, may rejoice the merits we accumulated. And all the past relatives may rejoice the merits we accumulated. And let's share all the merits with our teacher, Pinat Loku Swamin Wahanse, and all the monastic monks who voluntarily teaching the teachings of the Buddha to this community. And let's share all the merits, good karma with each and everyone who participated today to the Sutta class, to the teachings of the Buddha. And by the power of these merits, may you be well, may you be happy, may all good wishes come true, and may you all able to experience the happiness and understand the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo
Sadhu.
Buddha.
Okasa wandami bante. Maya katang punyang samina anumodi tabbang. Samina katang punyang maihangda tabbang.
Sadhu Anumodita.
Sadhu anumodami. Okasa dwarattena. Katang sabbang acayang. Kamatame bante.
Kamami Kamatam.
Okasa kamami bante. Dutiyampi okasa kamami bante. Tatiyampi okasa kamami bante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu. Sadhu.
Thank you, Bante.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank you.
There
Thank you,
are-
Bante.
You're
Thank you, Bante.
welcome.
Yeah.